In the spring of 2019, a guy named Dale Hutchins was standing in his driveway in Marion, Ohio, staring at a receipt for $61.42. That's what he'd just spent on a bag of name-brand lawn fertilizer. 4 bags a year. $250, easy, just to keep his half-acre from looking embarrassed. 3 weeks after he put it down, his lawn looked incredible. Deep green, thick, the kind of lawn that makes the mailman slow down. And then, like clockwork, it faded, yellowed out, looked tired, just like it always did. Just like yours probably does right now. Here's what Dale didn't know yet, and here's what I'm willing to bet you don't know either. About 4 miles from his house, at a farm supply depot that smelled like diesel and grain dust, there was a pallet of 40-pound bags selling for $4 each. Not $61. $4. And that bag did more for a lawn than anything Dale had ever bought at a garden center. He found out by accident. And once he understood why, he never bought the expensive stuff again. I'm going to show you exactly what was in that bag, why the big fertilizer companies pray you never hear this word, and how you can walk into any farm supply store this weekend and buy the same thing for pocket change. Let's start with the part that's going to make you a little angry. And I don't say that lightly. When you dump a bag of standard synthetic fertilizer on your lawn, you are not feeding your soil. You are feeding your grass directly. It's an IV drip straight into the plant, and the plant gorges on it. That's why the green shows up almost overnight. You walk outside with your coffee, you look at your lawn and you think, $50 well spent. But that green is borrowed. Synthetic nitrogen is water-soluble, which means it's all available at once. In a flood, the plant was never built to process. The grass throws everything it has into leaf growth for 2 or 3 weeks, and then the nitrogen washes past the root zone with the next hard rain. Gone. Your lawn just spent every reserve it had growing tall and lush with nowhere to root down, and now there's nothing left. That washed out, what happened look you get about a month after fertilizing? That's the crash. And the only fix the industry offers is buy more fertilizer. It's a loop. A profitable, carefully engineered loop, and you've been standing in the middle of it for years without knowing it had a name. Researchers at Iowa State University's turfgrass extension program have documented this exact boom and bust pattern in soluble nitrogen programs for decades. Rapid top growth, followed by nutrient depletion that leaves turf more vulnerable to drought and disease stress, not less. The lawn was never the problem. What's underneath it was. There's a property of soil that farmers obsess over, that soil scientists build entire careers studying, and that almost no homeowner has ever heard of. It's called cation exchange capacity, CEC for short. Picture your soil as a parking lot. The nutrients your grass needs, calcium, magnesium, potassium, iron, are cars. They carry a small positive charge. For those nutrient cars to stay parked in your soil instead of washing straight through with the next rainstorm, the soil needs parking spots that carry a negative charge to hold them in place. CEC is the number of parking spots your soil has. Most tired suburban lawns are sitting on sandy, low organic soil, basically a parking lot with almost no spaces. You can pour in nutrients all day long, and they'll wash straight through and out the bottom, gone before the grass ever gets to use them. That's why your expensive fertilizer keeps disappearing. You're not feeding a hungry lawn. You're pouring money into a colander. So the real question, the one no fertilizer company wants printed on their bag, isn't, how do I add more nutrients? It's, how do I build more parking spots? That's exactly the question a soil scientist named Robert Aldrich at Texas A&M's soil testing lab has spent his career answering. And his research keeps landing on the same answer. Raise the organic matter content of the soil, and you raise its capacity to hold and deliver nutrients. Permanently. Not for 3 weeks. For years. So what actually builds parking spots? This is where Dale's $4 bag comes back into the story. It goes by a few names on the label. Humic granules, humic acid, humates, sometimes just soil conditioner. Walk into any rural agricultural supply store and you'll find it stacked on wooden pallets, sold by the ton, because farmers use it to recondition fields that have been farmed hard for 50 years. It's dark, crumbly, almost looks like crushed coal. What it actually is, the most stable, refined end product of decomposition on the planet. Leaves, roots, ancient plant material, broken down over centuries into something so concentrated that a single gram can carry a cation exchange capacity many times higher than ordinary topsoil. This is the same material that made the American Midwest's prairie soil so absurdly fertile that we plowed up half a continent to farm it. You're not feeding the lawn when you apply this. You're rebuilding the soil's actual ability to hold and deliver nutrients, long after the bag is empty. A landscaper named Priya Nkamelu, who runs a small crew in Lubbock, Texas, told me she switched 3 of her commercial accounts to a humic-based program back in 2021 after a client complained about fertilizer costs. Her exact words, "I stopped buying the fancy stuff completely. The lawn's still greened up. I felt like an idiot for not knowing this 10 years earlier." Here's the part that sounds too good to be true, so let me walk you through the actual mechanism. Most lawns aren't starving for minerals. The minerals are already down there. Iron, manganese, phosphorus, trace elements. They exist in your dirt right now. The problem is they're locked up, bonded to other elements in forms your grass physically cannot absorb. Picture a fridge full of food behind a door that's been welded shut. Humic acid is the locksmith. Through a process called chelation, you don't need to memorize the word, just remember what it does. Humic molecules wrap around those locked-up minerals, pry them loose, and hand them to the plant roots in a form they can actually use. This is why people who switch to a humic program are often stunned. They apply almost no additional fertilizer, and the lawn greens up anyway, because the food was sitting there in the soil the entire time. It just needed the door unlocked. Turf researchers at Penn State Center for Turfgrass Science have measured exactly this effect in trial plots. Soils treated with humic substances showing measurably higher availability of iron and micronutrients that were previously bound and inaccessible to the plant. And that deep, almost blue-green color you see on golf courses, the color that makes you slow your car down, that's not nitrogen green. Nitrogen green is loud, pale, and gone in 3 weeks. That deep color comes from iron, delivered slowly and steadily, building real chlorophyll density instead of a sugar rush. Here's what's happening underground once you stop flooding your lawn with synthetic nitrogen. A lawn fed on cheap soluble nitrogen builds roots maybe an inch or 2 deep. Lazy, shallow roots, because why dig down for water and food when it's being spoon-fed right at the surface? That's the lawn that browns out the second week of a heat wave. The lawn that needs watering twice a day just to survive August. A lawn built on humic-rich soil sends roots down 6, 8, sometimes 10 inches. And a deep-rooted lawn is a completely different animal. It survives drought while the neighbor's sprinkler runs twice a day. It shrugs off heat that turns other yards crispy and brown. It crowds out weeds because weeds love the disturbed, shallow, nutrient-starved topsoil that fertilizer addiction creates. You're not just growing a greener lawn. You're growing a fundamentally tougher one that needs less of everything from you. Less water, less product, less worry, less of your Saturday. I know how this sounds, like a sales pitch. So here's how you check it yourself before spending a single dollar. Grab a flathead screwdriver. Walk out to your lawn and try to push it straight down into the soil. If it stops cold after an inch or 2, or you have to lean your whole body weight on it, your soil is compacted, and your roots are almost certainly shallow and starving. Now try the same thing in a flower bed you've been amending for a couple years, or under a tree where leaves have been rotting into the ground for a decade. Feel the difference? That spot has organic matter. It has structure. It has parking spots. That's the entire difference humic material makes, and that screwdriver just proved it to you in 10 seconds, for free. Here's a second test. Next time you fertilize the regular way, mark the calendar. Write down the day it goes deep green, and write down the day it starts fading again. For most synthetic programs, that window is under 3 weeks before the fade sets back in. Once you track it once, you can't unsee it. Here's the part that's almost embarrassingly cheap. Go to a farm or agricultural supply store, not a garden center. Look for a bag labeled humic granules, humates, humic acid, or soil conditioner. Read the label. You want it derived from leonardite, which is the richest natural source of this stuff on Earth. Skip the tiny, overpriced bottles marketed specifically for lawns at 3 times the price. Same material, different packaging, different tax on your wallet. One 40-pound bag will cover most home lawns' multiple applications, which works out to a couple of dollars per treatment. Compare that to Dale's $61 receipt. Application is simple. Spread it with a basic broadcast spreader at a light, even rate. You genuinely cannot burn your lawn with too much of this the way synthetic nitrogen will scorch it. That's one of the quiet advantages nobody at the garden center will tell you. Water it in afterward so the granules make contact with the soil and root zone, where the actual chelation and exchange happens. Do it once in spring, once in fall. Spring sets your lawn up to build deep roots before summer stress hits. Fall feeds soil biology while it's still active, and stores up reserves for a strong green-up the following year. You're working with the lawn's natural rhythm instead of fighting it with a midsummer nitrogen bomb. If you want to go one step further for almost nothing extra, mulch your grass clippings back into the lawn instead of bagging them, or add a thin top dressing of compost. The humic material builds the parking spots. The clippings and compost provide the slow, steady stream of nutrients to fill them. Together, they kickstart the billions of soil microbes that do the actual work. The living, breathing soil biology that no bag of synthetic fertilizer, no matter how glossy the label, can ever sell you. You have to grow it. Now you know exactly how. So here's where this lands. The reason your lawn keeps disappointing you probably has nothing to do with buying the wrong fertilizer. It's that you've been feeding the plant and starving the ground underneath it. The deep green that lasts, the drought resistance, the roots that go down instead of out, none of it comes from a bag with a picture of perfect grass on the front. It comes from cation exchange capacity, from unlocked minerals, from organic matter that took nature centuries to build, sitting on a farm store pallet the whole time, 4 miles from Dale's driveway, while he drove past it every week to pay $60 somewhere else. The ground was the problem, not the grass. And now you're one of the few people who actually knows the difference. So tell me, have you ever fertilized, watched your lawn explode with color, and then watched it fade 3 weeks later wondering what you did wrong? Drop it in the comments. I read every one of them. If this saved you from wasting money at the garden center this spring, hit subscribe, because I've got a lot more of the stuff the big fertilizer companies don't want you to know. I'll see you in the next one.